In this video, I'm going to talk about some of the best investments that you can make in 2022 for less than $5,000. And some of the investments in this video are going to be things that I've covered previously on this channel. And so what I'll do is I'll leave links to any of these investments that I actually have an in-depth review of on this channel. And that way, while you're watching this video, if you like any of the options that I talk about here, you can actually click on that link and you can go watch an in-depth review of how that particular investment works. Now, also, before we go into the video, let me just say that these investments for under $5,000, these aren't all investments that I like or that I would do. I have done some of them, and I'll tell you guys about the ones that still work, but why I don't do them. So with that said, let's get to the best investments for 2022 under $5,000. And by the way, guys, if you're new to the channel, my name is Ian, and on this channel, I talk about ways to make money, ways to save your money, ways to invest your money. I talk about bank accounts, credit cards, and just about everything to do with personal finance. So if you like these videos and you like these types of topics, be sure to give this video a thumbs up. I'll really appreciate it. It's 100% free, won't ever cost you anything. Also, be sure to subscribe if you haven't already done so with all the notifications on, and that way you'll never miss any of the updates of when I post future videos on this channel. Now, the first idea or the first investment idea for under $5,000 for 2022 is something that you may have never thought about before, and this is by actually selling watches. Now, I've heard people talk about reselling watches a lot, and I always wondered if they actually made any money doing this, and if this was actually a niche that was profitable. And so I took a small course on reselling watches, and what I found was that there is actually a market out there for luxury watches, and this includes brand new and also used luxury watches. In fact, just to show you how serious people are about their watches, many pre-owned luxury watches have to be appraised or have to have a certificate of appraisal so that you can actually show the value, and based on that, someone will actually pay you for that used luxury watch. So you could buy a watch for $500 and you could get it appraised for $900, and then you could sell it at a discount based on the value on that appraisal for, let's say, $750 or $800, and then you could make some profit. In fact, there are many people looking to purchase in this niche, and because of this, fraud is running rampant here. You have people doing fake appraisals for luxury watches, trying to sell the watches for a lot more than they're actually worth, and this is actually a big problem. Now, that aside, the point here is that you can actually make money in this business. Now, the way this works is that you go out there and you network with jewelers and also watch brokers, and you can also look at some of the websites that resell these watches, and that way you can get an idea of what certain luxury watches are actually worth. Now, once you have an idea of what these watches are actually worth, the next step is to purchase one of these watches used for less than what you know it would be appraised for. So, for example, if you found a watch, right, if it had a lot of VVS diamonds and you know that for a fact this watch could be appraised for, let's say, $2,000, your job is to make sure that you pay less than $1,200 for this watch, and that way you can mark it up, selling it for $1,500, and then you just made $300 in profit, and the person buying the watch from you is going to be happy seeing that they got a watch with an appraisal of $2,000 plus for only $1,500, and then you make some money in the process. Now, another cool part of this business is that watches or jewelry in general, if you like it or if it's something that you're into, you could also purchase luxury watches for way below what they're valued at, and then you could actually use them or wear them yourself for 6 months, a year, and then you could sell them for more than what you paid for them, and that way you benefit twice, right? You get paid to make a profit from the deal, and you also get paid to use the watches, and this is what a lot of people currently do. Now, the second investment that you can make in 2022 for under $5,000 is going to be flipping items that you can find on Craigslist or Facebook Marketplace, and you'll hear me talk about this a lot because I actually make a lot of money by doing this. Now, usually people use Facebook Marketplace or eBay or Craigslist to find deals on stuff that they want when they don't necessarily care if this stuff is new or not. But deals aside, you can also flip and make a lot of money. So for example, this is a security system, a home security system, and this is a really cheap system. I think it sells on Amazon for like $270 or $260. I can't remember exactly right now, but I did check the price before I bought it. But I just scooped this up for $100 brand new, and the person that had this, they bought it brand new, they never used it, and it turns out that they didn't need it, and so now I bought it for $100, and shipping this item is probably going to cost me $35 max, and that means I'm looking at a profit of around $130 to $140 from this one item. Again, this wasn't anything hard. You can do this with other stuff like phones or laptops or MacBooks or just about anything. And finding out what these things are worth is also really easy, because if you go on Facebook Marketplace, for example, and you see something like this listed for $100, all you got to do is to type the name in on Amazon or eBay. You can look for it new or used depending on what condition it's listed or selling for, and then you'll see what they are selling for, and then you'll know if this is a deal or not, if you should go and negotiate, or if you should just start looking for something else to flip. Now, this is one of the easiest ways to flip and make money, or one of the easiest ways to invest $5,000 in 2022. Now, I've also done a full review on this, and I'll leave a link below to that video, so be sure to check that out if you're interested in flipping items for a profit. But let's move on to the third idea or third investment that you could get into for under $5,000 in 2022, and this is going to be retail arbitrage. Now, remember earlier on in this video, I mentioned that some of these methods, I wouldn't do them myself, or I just don't like them. And this one is one of those methods. It works because I see other people doing it, and it works for them, but I tried this before and I just didn't like the process. It was kind of a hassle for me, and I'll tell you guys why. So retail arbitrage is when you go to, for example, let's say the dollar store, and let's say you see a bottle of shampoo, and this bottle of shampoo is selling for $1, right? Because it's the dollar store, so everything's $1. Now, when you go on Amazon, you see the same exact bottle brand of shampoo selling for $8 or $9 or even $10. Now, in theory, what you have to do here is you'll purchase all the shampoos that you could get your hands on from all the dollar stores that you could find around you, and you would then pick them up, you'd pack them into boxes, and you then ship those boxes to Amazon and have them listed on Amazon. And that way, when they sell on Amazon, Amazon will ship them out for you, and Amazon will also send you your profits. It's a really simple business idea in theory. However, the problem that I ran into when I did this was that I found items that I could sell, but whenever I went back to the stores where I initially got the items from, they were never there in stock again, or even if they were in stock, they weren't at the price that I got them at before. So for me, it was like I was always chasing these deals, and it would have me going to different random stores, and I just thought it wasn't worth it after a while. So I quit after probably my second week, because flipping items was a lot easier, and I was already making a lot more money from flipping items. So I just doubled down on that instead. But again, I know people that do retail arbitrage, and it makes them a lot of money. For example, this guy, Ryan Grant, he spent around 30 hours or 30 to 40 hours every week, just like a full-time job, searching for deals at Walmart, and he was able to make over $1 million from retail arbitrage. So if you can find good stuff at retail stores at prices that's way cheaper than what it's selling for online, like on Amazon, for example, then you can do this, and this is how you can invest $5,000 in 2022. Now, the fourth way to invest around $5,000 in 2022 or less is by investing in the stock market. Now, I'm not talking about picking stocks or day trading or investing into memes. You can risk that stuff if you want to, but I'm talking about investing in actual solid companies that you know will be profitable. So the easiest way to pull this off would be to invest in an ETF or index funds, and that way you're investing into multiple stocks instead of just one. This way it reduces the risk, and if you want to go out there and you want to start picking stocks and doing like what Warren Buffett does, then before you actually jump and do invest $5,000, I would recommend you start reading some books. And by the way, if you have $5,000 to invest in 2022, these books, they're gonna give you the knowledge that you need, and they're only gonna cost you like $10, $15, $20 at max. So probably invest in some of these books first. Read them. For example, I have this one here. It's called The Little Book of Common Sense Investing. This is one that you can actually start with. And there are other books as well, really good books such as The Intelligent Investor. But the point here is that you want to go out there and you want to read some books if you don't know anything about picking stocks before you actually go and spend your money picking stocks. Now, this also has to do a lot with the type of person that you are. So for example, I'm not interested in day trading or stock picking for the most part. I may do it, but it's not something that I want to actively do. And because of this, I prefer passive investments. That is more my style and it fits me better. So this is why I choose ETFs or index funds. And the good thing about this is that you don't need $5,000 to start. You can actually start with $10 or $100. I personally use M1 Finance to invest, and you can sign up there and you can deposit $10 and you can start investing in ETFs or even stocks right now. And if you guys use my link down below and deposit $100, you can also get $50 for free. Well, the point is it doesn't take a lot to get you started here. Now, to get an idea of how this can benefit you, let's say you start a Roth IRA account and you start at 25 years old and you keep this until you're 65 years old and you invest $5,000 per year and you get an annual return on average of around 10%. This means that you contributed $200,000 and at the end you'd have 2.4 million, and this doesn't even include increasing your future contributions to the maximum amount. So for something that you can start with as little as $10, I think this is one of the best investments that you can make this year for under $5,000. So again, these are good investments that you can make in 2022 for $5,000 or less. And if I wanted to invest $5,000 or less, I'd look at number 1, 2, and 4 on this list. Comment below and let me know what you think about my ideas and any investments that you would get into for $5,000 or less in 2022. Now, with that said, thank you guys so much for watching. All the best with making money. If you ever want to talk to me one-on-one, you can message me on Instagram. Link is down below, and I'll see you guys very soon in the next one.